Welcome to Mental Wellness Mondays with me, your host, Dr. Nicole L. Arcady, your mental wellness expert. And we are continuing on with our self-care series because it is so very important that we take the time that we need to address not only our mental health, but our physical health and our spiritual health. And so we are continuing down this road of self-care because you cannot pour from an empty cup. Cars need to run on gas and you have to replenish it. So you also have to make sure that you are replenishing yourself. And so I'm continuing interviewing different women within the professional arena, in the community, really talking to them about what self-care means. And so stay tuned so you can listen to the interview that I did with Ariel Macon-Richard. She's actually a licensed mental health therapist, and she will be one of the presenters at my upcoming Mental Wellness Symposium event that's coming up in February on the 22nd. So you guys are in for a treat. Please be ready to be inspired and to be motivated. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Mental Wellness Mondays with me, your host, Dr. Nicole Arcady. And I am so excited to continue with the series on self-care that we have been doing, where I've been able to interview different women within the community. And today I have with me a very special treat. And her name is Ariel Macon-Richard, and she's a therapist and wellness coach at Your Happy Living Solutions. She also co-hosts a podcast, Meditate, Motivate, and Movement, where they bridge and they discuss physical, mental, and emotional health care. What's so awesome is she does it with her husband. And so if you could just please give me well, I know you can't clap right now, but if you can, think in your mind that you're clapping. I want to introduce to you guys Ariel. Welcome, Ariel. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hi. Hey, I'm so happy to be on. Thank you so much.
You are so very welcome. So I am just going to be asking you some questions, and it's very interesting because you are in wellness. You are a mental health therapist and you are a wellness coach. And so I want to talk about you and not your clients. So this is a change, right? Usually being the therapist,
right.
You're listening to your clients. And so I want to just ask you, are you a parent?
Yes, I am. I have two girls. They're 5 and 7, and they're lots of fun.
That's a fun age. Yes, it's a fun age. And I know you're a therapist and a wellness coach, so are you working full-time? Are you doing that part-time?
So I'm currently full-time. So,
okay.
When they were younger, I was part-time. So now I am full-time for the first time in about 6 years.
Wow. That had to have been a transition for you. How was that?
Yes, it has. It's been a huge transition, but the thing about it is as they get older, it's a little bit easier for me right now.
Okay.
And then also I slowed my way into it. So I slowly added more time working.
Oh, okay. That's a great thing to do, to give yourself, to prepare yourself instead of just throwing it all at once, jumping in, going full time right away. You were able to gradually increase your hours.
Right, exactly.
That's
and
awesome.
I know I'm very blessed to have been able to do that because I know a lot of women that have not been able to
Yes,
do that.
Know that you have been blessed, very fortunate. So are you a single or dual parent household?
We are a dual parent household.
Okay. And so tell my listeners and tell us, what does self-care mean to you? What does that term mean?
Well, self-care, it's really, really important to me. It's a big thing that I've had to grow into as a mom, as a wife, and just as an adult in general. And so I think it really is the foundation for us to be able to, just.
Hello?
Live a full life. We have to learn how to care for ourselves and practice it regularly. And when times change, and Yeah, can you?
We can hear you were going in and out.
Oh, no. Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we're hearing every other word.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
So I heard you were talking about self-care and how you grew into it. So I heard you say that part and then didn't really hear anything else.
Oh, no. Okay.
You probably were on a roll, too.
I was on a roll. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This is better?
Yes. So I hope wherever you're at, just stay in that position.
Okay. So I was saying it's really the foundation for us to be able to thrive and live, full lives, for us to be able to learn how to care for ourselves and really practice it on a regular basis and, identify ways to incorporate self-care into our lives, even as our lives change and our roles change and grow. I think that's self-care to me is very important.
So if I were to just summarize what you just said and to just define clearly what self-care is, I know you said it is taking care of yourself. And by taking care of yourself, what would that look like?
So it's discipline and...
Uh-oh. Hello?
It's being... Yes.
Okay, you broke up again.
Oh, no. Okay. So I was saying that it's being intentional and it's choosing. So it's not something that just happens. We have to, it's something you actively choose to do and incorporate into your life. So it can be an activity. Okay. It could be something for physical, emotional, or spiritual health, or even your financial self-care, or even your career self-care. So there's different, to me, there's different areas in your life that require your care or your own self-care. And so it's just being intentional and actively doing something. Okay. I like being intentional and actively doing something to address your needs. Okay. So can you tell us, what are your self-care routine, or do you have any things that you do for self-care? So I would say the biggest thing I do for self-care, I have Thursday evenings are my evenings to do whatever I want to do, basically. Oh, okay. And it's funny how it started. It started in college, where a group of girlfriends and we would get together on Thursday evenings. I don't know if people remember when Grey's Anatomy first came out. Yes. We had wine. Yes. We had wine and Grey's night. And I was like, no studying, nothing going on. And it became a theme. And then from there, moved along with friends at college. And then I would do happy hours. Okay. So before kids. And then even as they grew, Thursdays still stayed my night. So now it's more of maybe I'll sometimes take a bath, or sometimes I'll just maybe do my yoga class, or I'll watch my favorite show still, and sometimes that is Grey's Anatomy. Yes, I love it. I'm waiting for it to come back on. I know, me too. So I'll have my popcorn that night and get everything all set up and still watch it. And my husband doesn't like that show, so it's great because I'm like, you go do your thing. Yes. It's still my day. So it's just the interesting thing that happened where it's, it stayed my day no matter what I do. I still have something that evening. So that's the biggest thing that I've always kind of just stuck to, giving myself one relaxed evening at least if I have a busy week. But then the biggest thing as a mom and wife, once a year, I will leave and go on an overnight, stay somewhere. So maybe I'll go to Palm Springs, or I'll go just somewhere by myself, or a hotel night by myself, sleep in the morning, that kind of thing. So that's my big go-to. That's amazing. I love that. Being able to just get away so you can recharge. And I love how you said you incorporate, how you said so your self-care is being intentional. And so you intentionally have incorporated one day a week that you set it aside
for you to do some things that can be relaxing for you or recharging, which you were saying, whether it's taking a bath or it's watching your favorite show or if it's going to happy hour or if it's hanging out with your friends. I think that's amazing to be able to do that. So that's awesome. I used to, before, what is this? I have the AMC Stubs. Before AMC Stubs was out, every movie, when it would come out on a Friday, the first movie of the day was only like $6. So what I used to always do on Fridays, because I would have the Fridays off, is I would go to the movies by myself and watch the first showing of whatever came out that first opening weekend. And so that was something that I always incorporated and did for myself. So I love how you were saying, just you have that day set aside on that Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how do you find, because you're a therapist and, dealing with a lot of clients and helping them dealing with things, and a wellness coach, you're working full time, you're a wife, you're a mother. How do you find that balance with the work and, with work and with life, with family? How have you found balance? I guess I should ask that first.
I think that's a great question because I don't know if I will necessarily find like a perfect balance.
Okay.
So I have more been looking into the idea of finding harmony between all of those things, and sometimes one will need me more than the other.
Okay.
Role, and including sometimes I have to stop and just care for myself more than I, run around and do everything for everyone else.
Ooh, that's a butterfly moment we need to pause for, where you said, let's pause for that butterfly moment, which is you have to take the time and do for yourself versus running around and caring for everyone else. So care for yourself first. I love it.
Yes. And I think as a big thing as a mom and a working mom and wife and all of these different roles, like you said, and then trying to, do wellness coaching and be on the Instagram and all this stuff.
Yes, the marketing. Oh my goodness, yes.
And so sometimes there will be times where I'm better at it than others, or some areas get more of my attention than others, and then I have to personally be okay with that. Yes. That's a huge part.
Yeah, you have to be okay with that and give yourself permission to where, you can't be 100% in all areas at the same time. And oftentimes what I found for women and mothers, we're hard on ourselves. And so I like what you just said. You see it more as finding harmony, right? And balancing. And so kind of like a teeter-totter. Some moments may be up, some may be lower, right? And so, and I just wonder, this whole work-life balance, if that is even something that is obtainable. Like you're saying, we're saying, what's the perfect balance? Because perfection is something that people chase, but typically it is not something that is obtainable as far as to be perfect, right? And so I like what you said is finding harmony, right? Kind of like a synergy. And it's going to change at times, and it's okay. Because something else you said was you look at what are the needs at that moment, and that may change. And so your kids may need you more at that time, or your husband may, or whatever. So you can look at that, and then you can, it's like being fluid, go with the flow I've mentioned before. And so being able to be fluid and moving and changing as needed. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So do you find that there are areas that you can improve in your self-care or focus more in?
Yes, 100%. I would say there are probably for both my husband and I, actually, we definitely try to set aside date night.
Oh, yes.
And so we're really good at doing that on a regular basis. However, one thing that we haven't done as much, and I know, it kind of depends on where everyone's at with this and with leaving young kids behind kind of thing. But
we do that. My husband, we've done that.
I know.
On our anniversary. Yes. We usually go away.
Like, I'll be gone for a week, and and so comfortably being able to do it. And so I think we're just not there yet, and we want to be. But that's an area of, I would say, self-care, but also relationship care.
Yes.
Like, you know, go for a longer, because the most you've ever been is about 2 days away, which is still good, but we have to work our way up to 2 days with it. And even after the second day, we're like, we're ready to go home.
But you know what? I just want to give you some encouragement, because you can get there. Because we have 3, and when they were younger, I can recall we would only go away to, you know, more local areas like Santa Barbara, you know, or Palm Springs, something local. And I can recall when they were younger, one time we were supposed to be gone for 4 days, and we were missing the kids so much. Day 2, we came back. And so, but what I ended up doing as they got a little older, what I did was I booked us a trip where we couldn't come back home. I booked us a trip to New York. So it was a 7-day. It was like we couldn't come back. There was no way, because we had our flight. We had it, you know, so it wasn't anywhere we can just come back home quickly. And so once, you know, I did that, then it wasn't a problem afterwards. And so we just made it a routine for us once a year, typically around our anniversary or spring break time for the kids. We would go and one of our parents would, you know, watch the kids. And so I want to tell you, there is hope. You can get to that.
Yes, and we definitely see it in the, you know, the horizon. So it's something that that's a care area that we definitely, I could see growth in. And just, you know, and then also just adding more consistency, I would say, because there are times where, you know, and I actually tell my clients this, but we stop doing things to care for ourselves when we're going through our most stressful times. So for me, just making sure that even when that happens to me and I notice it right away, that I'm adding back that self-care and not missing it.
No, I mean, you bring up a very good point there also, is when we stop doing the things, like I tell clients also, when we stop doing the things that have helped us, then that's when we find out that we become overwhelmed, really emotionally distressed. But what oftentimes happens, like what you just said, is we become super stressed and then we cut out our self-care. And that's the thing that has been sustaining us and helping us to maintain. And so we have to make sure we are still doing those things. I tell people all the time, you don't have time not to take time for yourself. So I love how, you know, you're recognizing that. I love that you incorporate that date night in there. You know, that's something my husband and I need to get better at doing. We said we wanted to do at least once a month. The kids are getting older now, so oftentimes we have a lot of alone time, so that's good. So you'll have that too once they get older and they're high teens. They don't want to be bothered with you. So you'll have that time. But that is amazing. Just all of what you're doing sounds awesome. And you're also working on a book, a self-care book. So can't wait for that to be completed and released. And Ariel will be one of the speakers in the 2020 You Matter Too Wellness Symposium that's taking place next month, February 22nd. It's a Saturday from 9:30 to 3:30. She's going to be one of the speakers talking about self-care. So I am excited. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, please do so. You can go on Eventbrite. You can also go on the website, www.nicolearcady.com. I want to thank you so much, Ariel, for just coming on and talking to us about self-care, what that means to you, how you've been finding harmony within just your family, just with work, with life, and the things that you found to be helpful in maintaining just your wellness. So thank you so very much. Thank you all for listening. You can catch the podcast show every Monday. I come on Mondays, Mental Wellness Mondays. If you want a visual, please visit my YouTube. On my handle name, as they say, is Dr. Nicole Arcady, where you can find different types of tips and tools that I go over on strategies on also and around mental wellness. And you can also visit on my, Instagram, and look at different things I put on there, just inspirational, motivational, like certain things that you may like, or follow me on that also, or on Twitter. Also, those are just different areas. But I'm so glad to be able to speak with you just about self-care, talking to another woman within the community who was really doing a great job of not only helping to others with their own wellness, but also knowing the importance of having wellness for herself to be available. So please join me again next week for another show. And why is mental wellness so important for you to know about? Well, that's just so simple and easy, because you matter too. Ta-ta for now. You've been listening to Dr. Nicole L. Arcady, your mental wellness expert.